What's up, guys? It's Taylor back at it again with another episode of Vinyl Vault. Today we're going to be looking at Isles and Glaciers' only EP, The Hearts of Lonely People. Let's check it out. So like I said before, this is an EP from the supergroup Isles and Glaciers. It's a group consisting of members from like Chiodos, Dance Gavin Dance, Pierce the Veil. Got a lot of familiar faces on this album. And it came out in 2010, so kind of at the peak of all these bands' like success. We got Johnny Craig from Dance Gavin Dance, Craig Owens from Chiodos, the guys from Pierce the Veil, the lead singer and the drummer, a whole bunch of other guys too. It's a really interesting album, I think, because it's not only got a bunch of different guys from a bunch of different bands that kind of just made it on a whim, but it's also a group effort from two popular record labels, Rise Records and Equal Vision Records. They kind of came together to make this happen. They kind of loaned out Johnny Craig to go do this thing with the Equal Vision guys, which I think is pretty cool. So let's talk about the record itself. So it came out very limitedly on a white vinyl, which I have here. I think it might have been re-released since when it first came out, but I have the original here, I'm pretty sure. And it's all white, which I'm not the biggest fan of because it kind of gets a little dirty and stuff. But the album art is really cool, if you ask me, because there's a lot going on here, and you can see everything when you're holding it in your hand. I like these kind of more intricate album arts on vinyl because there's more to look at. I mean, when you're listening to a vinyl record, you're supposed to be sitting back, staring at the album cover, and if it's just like the Beatles' White Album, not a whole lot to look at. But this, we've got a lot of stuff going on here. The back, too, kind of carries the same theme. Almost reminds me kind of, like, the colors, at least, remind me of a Dance Gavin Dance record. We got some islands here and some crazy stuff. It also has got a cool little insert here. It's just got the songs on it, who's in the band. I like here it says Johnny Craig appears courtesy of Rise Records. That's kind of funny to me. A whole bunch of, like, the production stuff, when it was recorded, which was released in 2010, but it was actually recorded at the end of 2008, which I thought was kind of interesting, kind of like almost a 2-year gap between recording and releasing, and it looks like it was only recorded over a 10-day period, which is pretty awesome. These guys got together for 10 days and knocked out a solid EP. So the thing I really like about this record, it's kind of like a perfect storm of all these bands. It's 2010. They're all pretty popular in their own respective scenes, and they get together for 10 days to make this one album. And it's, in my opinion, pretty perfect. I mean, it's short, it's sweet, it's got some good instrumentals on it, it's got great songs with all their great vocals. I think Johnny Craig really complements the more like high-pitched, whiny Craig Owens and Vic on the album. His deep voice really just kind of carries them through. Not carries, but really... it really complements them, if you ask me. I really like that about it. In my opinion, it's probably my favorite EP ever made because it's just so perfect and it's just, well, there's one complete thought there, it seems like. It's not just like a bunch of random songs that like Johnny Craig wanted to make and he kind of just threw Craig Owens on there. It seems like it's one complete whole, and that's why I really want to get it on vinyl, was because I like those albums that are one idea, one thing put together very nicely. My favorite track on the record's probably got to be Cemetery Weather, the last track on the album. I like those long, like, epic songs. Like, it's about 7.5 minutes long, and it's got everybody on there, and I think they all just do such a great job on it. Alright, so that's Isles and Glaciers, The Hearts of Lonely People. If you haven't given it a listen, or you haven't listened to it in a couple of years, go back and listen to it. It's pretty good. It's also a great vinyl, I think, because it's like I said, one complete thought. So it's a good vinyl purchase if you could get your hands on it, if it's not too limited. I know they did release it in limited form. But yeah, check it out. It's a great record. Some good vocals, some good instrumentals. I really like it. One of my favorites. I highly recommend you check it out. So tune in next time for another episode of Vinyl Vault. I'll try to do these a little more in the future, but we'll see. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and The Hearts of Lonely People. It's a must listen. Peace.